When you hear the name Mike Tyson, what comes to mind? Is it the face tattoo, the pigeons, the controversial soundbites, or is it something more primal? A feeling of awe, maybe even a little fear. Because for a time, Mike Tyson wasn't just a boxer. He was a force of nature, an event, the baddest man on the planet. Today, we're diving deep into what made Iron Mike the fiercest, most ferocious fighting machine the world has ever seen. Before the millions, before the championship belts, before the world knew his name, there was a kid from Brownsville, Brooklyn, trying to survive. Life was tough. By his early teens, Tyson had been arrested dozens of times. He was on a one-way track to nowhere, but then, a fateful encounter changed everything. He met a legendary boxing trainer named Cus D'Amato. Cus saw something in this troubled kid that no one else did. He saw raw, untamed power, but more than that, he saw a future champion. Cus took Mike under his wing, not just as a trainer, but as a father figure. He moved Mike into his home, gave him discipline, and began to mold him. Cus D'Amato didn't just teach Tyson how to box. He built a psychological fortress around him. He instilled in Mike an unshakable belief in his own greatness, a philosophy of attack, and a unique fighting style that would terrorize the heavyweight division for years to come, the peekaboo. The peekaboo style was pure, controlled aggression. Imagine this: Tyson, shorter than most heavyweights, bobbing and weaving, his gloves held high against his cheeks. He moves his head constantly, slipping punches, making himself an impossible target. Then, like a coiled spring, he explodes forward. He wasn't just throwing punches. He was launching his entire body into his opponent. Jab to the body, right hook to the head, left hook to the body, right uppercut. It was a symphony of destruction, and every note was a knockout blow. His power was just different. It wasn't just arm strength. It was explosive, kinetic energy transferred from his legs, through his core, and into his fists with devastating speed. Other heavyweights threw punches. Mike Tyson threw human-sized wrecking balls. He had the speed of a middleweight with the power of a super heavyweight. This combination was unheard of. It was terrifying. And then, there was the intimidation factor. Before a punch was even thrown, Tyson had often already won the fight. His ring walk was the stuff of legend. No fancy robe, no entourage dancing around. Just Mike, in plain black trunks, black shoes, with a towel draped over his head. He'd pace back and forth in his corner like a caged tiger, staring a hole through his opponent. You could see the fear in their eyes. They weren't just stepping into a ring. They were stepping into Mike Tyson's world. And in that world, only one thing mattered: destruction. His professional debut was in 1985. The opponent? Hector Mercedes. The fight lasted 1 round. This became a pattern. In his first year as a pro, Tyson fought 15 times, winning all by knockout, most in the first round. He wasn't just winning, he was annihilating everyone put in front of him. Commentators ran out of superlatives. He was a phenom, a prodigy, a monster. In November 1986, just a year and a half after his debut, he got his shot at the title against Trevor Berbick. Tyson was only 20 years old. People wondered if he was ready for the big stage, if he could handle a seasoned champion. The fight answered all questions. Tyson stalked Berbick from the opening bell. In the second round, a left hook sent Berbick stumbling across the ring, and then a final combination put him down for good. At 20 years, for months, and 22 days old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. A record that still stands today, but he wasn't done. His mission, as crafted by Cus D'Amato, was to unify the division. Over the next year, he did just that, collecting the WBA and IBF belts, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He was on top of the world. Fights against guys like Pinklon Thomas and Tony Tucker showed his dominance. They were tough fighters, but against Tyson, they were just another chapter in his highlight reel. Perhaps the peak of his destructive aura came in 1988 against Michael Spinks. Spinks was the undefeated lineal champion. Many experts thought his awkward style and boxing skill could give Tyson problems. The fight was billed as once and for all. It lasted 91 seconds. That's it, 1 minute and 31 seconds. Tyson landed a body shot that crumpled Spinks, and then a final right hand that ended the night. Spinks never fought again. the world was in shock. Mike Tyson wasn't just the best, he seemed invincible, a true fighting machine. But as the old saying goes, pride comes before the fall, and Tyson's fall was as dramatic as his rise. His mentor and anchor, Cus D'Amato, had passed away before he even won the title. Without Cus's guidance, the vultures began to circle. He parted ways with his longtime team, including trainer Kevin Rooney, who was the direct link to Cus's teachings. His life outside the ring became chaotic. The discipline that Cus had instilled began to crumble. The invincibility shattered in Tokyo in 1990. He faced a 42-1 underdog named Buster Douglas. It was supposed to be a tune-up fight, but Tyson came in unprepared, unfocused. Douglas, motivated by personal tragedy, fought the fight of his life. He used his long jab to keep Tyson at bay and wasn't intimidated. In the 10th round, a flurry of punches sent the unbeatable champion to the canvas for the first time in his career. He fumbled for his mouthpiece, tried to get up, but it was too late. The world stood still. The machine had been broken. What followed was a tumultuous period of personal and legal troubles that saw him spend time in prison. When he returned to boxing, he was different. The raw, untamed ferocity was still there in flashes, but the disciplined, focused destruction of his early years was gone. He won back a piece of the heavyweight title, but he was no longer the same fighter. The losses to Evander Holyfield, including the infamous bite fight, and the final knockout loss to Lennox Lewis marked the end of an era. So, when we look back, what is the legacy of Mike Tyson? Is it the controversy, the what-ifs? I don't think so. The true legacy of Mike Tyson is that period from 1985 to 1989. For those few years, the world witnessed something special. We saw a perfect storm of physical gifts, psychological warfare, and a unique style come together to create the most intimidating and explosive athlete we've ever seen in a ring. He was the living embodiment of the phrase "a force of nature." He brought an excitement to the heavyweight division that hadn't been seen since Muhammad Ali. Every single one of his fights was must-see TV because you knew, at any second, something historic could happen. He could end a fight with one punch, and he often did. He was, and forever will be, a cultural icon. Today, Mike Tyson is a different man. He's found a level of peace and self-awareness that seemed impossible during his reign. He's a successful podcaster, an entertainer, a businessman. But don't let the calm demeanor fool you. The fire is still there. That fighting spirit, forged in the streets of Brooklyn and honed by a master, will always be a part of him. In the history of combat sports, there have been great champions, skilled technicians, and powerful punchers. But there has only ever been one Mike Tyson, the man who, at his peak, was the purest, most terrifying, and most ferocious fighting machine ever created. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look back at the legend of Iron Mike, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Mike Tyson moment is. See you next time.